Long ago, the world was filled with people, but something had gone terribly wrong. The earth had become corrupt, and the hearts of men were filled with violence, greed, and wickedness. People had forgotten their Creator, choosing instead to follow their own selfish desires. The beauty of the world God had made was now overshadowed by darkness, but not everyone had turned away. There was one man who still listened, one man who still walked with God: Noah. Noah was different. He was righteous, blameless in his generation, and faithful to God in all that he did. And because of Noah's faith, God chose him for a great task. One day, as Noah tended to his land, a voice filled the air, a voice like none he had ever heard, strong yet gentle, powerful yet full of love. It was the voice of God. "Noah, the world is full of evil. The hearts of men have turned away from me. I will cleanse the earth with a great flood. But you have found favor in my eyes. Build an ark, a great boat, for you, your family, and 2 of every kind of animal. I will make a covenant with you, and you will be saved." Noah's heart trembled at God's words, but he did not question. He did not hesitate. He bowed his head and said, "I will obey, Lord." And so, Noah began the great task. He and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, worked day and night, cutting wood, hammering planks, and building the massive ark exactly as God had instructed. It was no ordinary task. The ark was enormous, towering over the landscape, with room for thousands of animals. But Noah's faith never wavered. Even when the villagers laughed at him, mocked him, and called him a fool, he kept building. "Rain? A flood? You've lost your mind, Noah," they jeered. But Noah simply smiled and kept working. He knew that God's promises never fail. Day after day, year after year, the ark grew until it was finally complete, a symbol of faith, obedience, and hope in the midst of a broken world. Then something incredible happened. Just as God had said, the animals began to arrive, 2 by 2, male and female. Lions and lambs walked side by side. Elephants, birds, and even the smallest insects made their way toward the ark, guided by God's unseen hand. It was a sight that no one could explain, a miracle unfolding before their eyes. Noah and his family guided the animals into the ark, each pair finding its place. The ark was now alive with the sounds of God's creation, a reminder of his power and his love for all living things. When the last animal was safely inside, God spoke to Noah once more. "Go into the ark, you and your family, for in 7 days I will send rain upon the earth, and every living thing that is not in the ark will perish. But you will be safe, for I have made a covenant with you." Noah and his family entered the ark, and God himself closed the door behind them. Then the rain began to fall. At first, it was just a few drops, but soon it became a torrent. The sky grew dark, and thunder rumbled across the heavens. The floodgates of the deep burst open, and water began to rise, covering the earth. The villagers, who had once laughed and mocked, now ran in terror, but it was too late. The flood had come, just as God had said. For 40 days and 40 nights, the rain poured down. The earth was covered in water, and every living thing outside the ark perished. But inside, Noah and his family were safe, sheltered by God's mercy. As the ark floated on the endless sea, Noah looked out at the storm, his heart heavy with sorrow for those who had been lost. But even in the midst of the storm, he knew that God was with him. And then, after many months, the rain stopped. The sun broke through the clouds, and the waters began to recede. The ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat, and hope returned to Noah's heart. When the earth was dry once more, God told Noah to leave the ark. Noah, his family, and all the animals stepped out onto the fresh, new land. The air was clean, the sky was bright, and the world was full of promise. And then in the sky, something beautiful appeared, a brilliant rainbow, stretching from one end of the horizon to the other. Noah's eyes filled with tears as he gazed at the rainbow, a sign of God's covenant, his promise never to destroy the earth with a flood again. "This is my covenant with you and with all living creatures. Never again will I destroy the earth with a flood, and this rainbow will be the sign of my promise to all generations." Noah's story is a story of faith, obedience, and hope. Even when the world was against him, Noah trusted God, and because of his faith, he and his family were saved. The rainbow reminds us that no matter how dark the storm, there is always hope, always a new beginning, and always a promise of love from the one who created us. May we all have faith like Noah, the courage to do what is right, the strength to obey, and the hope to trust in promises that never fail.